What's up, Warriors? Welcome back to another one. Goodness gracious, there we go. Welcome back to another one. Before we get into it, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you are following us on the different podcast platforms, Facebook, IG. Today we got a fire one. We got another fire one. You know, are you connected to things that you should be cutting the cord to? You should be pulling the plug from, that you should be disconnecting from. Think about that. And let's get ready for the show. Boom, 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 boom. Welcome back, Warriors. This is the Warriors Vision Podcast. I'm your host, Brian, aka The Warrior. And we have a fire episode for you today. But before we get into all of that, make sure, again, as I said before, that you're subscribed to the podcast, that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, that you're following us on Facebook, IG, and any other thing that you may that I've mentioned before. As we always do, we go through our contacts list and different things. So we'll highlight those things and make sure, if you have those things, that you connect with us on those said things. All right. So, with that being said, guys, before we get into it, business as always, we are still running a special code for the Warriors Coffee Collection. Running a special code for the Warriors Coffee Collection, and it should be showing up on the ticker at the bottom. Use that code at checkout and receive 15% off your purchase. You know, we got whole bean and we have grounded coffee. So go and pick your favorite, pick your favorite blend, and make a purchase. All right, support the movement, support the business, support what we are doing. If you align our with what we're doing, if you can see yourself aligning with what we're doing, so go ahead and support. Go to the website www.warriorscollectionbrand.com. Go to the Warriors Coffee Collection category, pick you a nice coffee, head to the checkout, put that code in, receive 15% off. That easy. Bam, bam, bing. All right. If you can't do it, tell someone else. If you don't like coffee, share it with someone else who loves coffee. All right. This coffee is for premium warriors. Premium coffee beans for premium warriors. All right. We got that done and out of the way. Let's get into this. Episode 5. We're rolling along here. Episode 5. You see that in the title. Disconnect from it all. Disconnect from it all. This one came to me. Um, this one came to me a couple weeks ago. A lot of my episodes have been coming to me weeks in before I actually, set out to do them, and that's why I told you guys that I'm planning to write up my stuff. Have it all typed out and in order so I can stay on point. And as I told you guys before, that I also tend on not sticking to the script, especially if it's something that I'm passionate about. If it's something that I can most of my episodes I don't need notes for anyway, but I wanted to be more professional. I wanted to be more precise and tuned in, fine tune what I am saying and where I want to go with my thoughts, because you've seen the show. If you're watching me on YouTube, you've seen at that moment when I'm thinking about something, I get hyper focused on it, and then I can switch it that fast. I'm still on topic, but something has just been dropped into my mind, and I can speak on it. So with this, I just want to be more fine tuned with where I'm going with the show, or with the podcast, or with the episode, I should say, and stick to it as much as possible. But again, if something gets dropped, if something pops up, I'm gonna speak on it and go from there. It's still gonna be on topic. I do my best to stay on topic while I'm doing these episodes. So disconnect from it all. I have disconnected from Twitter. Now. I haven't deleted my account, but I have removed the app from my phone. Right. I found myself spending not a lot of time, but I found myself in different points throughout the day, going through, looking for things, and being dissatisfied with the stuff that I was seeing, or really just not discouraged or any of that, just dissatisfied. Like I was not happy about the things that I was seeing, the comments, the different topics, the pettiness, the imposter syndromes that I was seeing, the fakeness. I was not happy with it. Dissatisfied, displeased with that platform. And then on top of that, you have the main guy. The people have championed him as the leader of the free speech world, which he's not. Which he is not. He is not the leader of free speech. He says things, and that speaks to certain sides, that speaks to certain things that people want to hear. He says those things, and then in plain sight he does another thing, and people are so blinded by what he had said that they're not paying attention to his actions, and that disgusts me. You guys know my stance on certain things, and how I stand on that. My rock is solid. I don't stand on quicksand. I don't stand, I'm not walking or trying to stand on water or any of that. My rock is solid. So if I make a stance on something, I'm solid on that. There's no wavering. And I have never wavered on the Constitution or freedom. And what I am seeing on that app is just pure disgusting, and I couldn't take it no more. And when I saw that it was bothering me to the point where I was getting kind of agitated, right? That's when I knew, all right, it's time to just step away. At first, I had pulled back a lot. I stopped going into the spaces, and spaces is a thing where you can go in and have actual conversations. You can speak through your telephone, and people can hear your voice, and you can sit in there and have these conversations about many different things. And a lot of times we had some good conversations. There were good conversations about homesteading and learning things that mattered in my life, right? Those were good conversations. Then there was other conversations where we were talking about things that were happening in the news. And after a while, hearing the same thing, hearing the same complaints, right? And not hearing people provide solutions, or hearing people think they want solutions, but then they don't want solutions. It was annoying. And then to top it all off, I think that the straw that broke the camel's back was that when football season started, the NFL is back, right? We've known for years now that the NFL is pushing different things with the agenda of racism, and then we have uh, millionaires speaking on things and acting like they're struggling with these things, or whatever the case may be, sitting there crying on TV and woe is me, my life is hard. I'm playing a game that is made for a child, and I'm getting paid millions of dollars, whatever the case may be, right? uh, we have this organization, this massive organization that commands the attentions on Sundays of many Americans, and meanwhile, it's telling people in this country that they are racist because of the color of their skin, because of the so-called privilege, or whatever the case may be, and whatever it is, right? These people have heard this thing for years now, but these same people sit and continue to throw their support to an organization that does not like them, that does not agree with anything about them, that literally is telling them, hey, you're a racist. It doesn't matter what you're saying. I see your skin color. You're an automatic racist, right? And when I saw that these people were online complaining about, the Black National Anthem, or whatever, when I saw them complaining, I was like, how are you still complaining when they've shown you who they were? How are you still complaining? You're choosing to spend hours watching that TV, watching that game, while they tell you you are the problem. How are you still complaining? And these grown men just they couldn't tell me why, but all they can do is complain, and that was it. I was done at that point in time when I realized that people were just bent on complaining and not doing something different, not doing something that was going to feed them. They would rather sit there and be spit in the face, call whatever, and come online, social media apps, and complain about what's going on. It's stupid to me. And at that point, that's when I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. If I'm involved in something, I need it to be feeding me. I need to be learning from it. I need to be taking something away from it that's positive, that I can add to my life and then multiply by teaching it to someone else. If it's not doing any of that, I need to cut it loose, because it's now making me feel a type of way towards people. I'm getting angry, or I'm looking at people like, you're pathetic, and I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be doing that, but sometimes it calls for that. So I had to disconnect from it. I had to disconnect from Twitter. And again, my profile is still up, but I'm not on there actively tweeting. I'm not checking it. I'm not looking into it. I have it because my business is connected to my Twitter account. So the Twitter or my business website, um, I have it where it'll post a certain item, whatever I'm selling at that point in time. It'll post it, and so that people who want to, you know, support the store, they can. But other than that, I'm not on Twitter anymore. You know, actively engaging people in topics that, again, that don't matter, in topics that people really don't want to break from. I'm done entertaining foolishness. I'm sick of it. And it was, at first I was using it as a crutch. I was like, I can't disconnect from it, right? Because my business is attached to it. I This is how I get my business out there. Mm, that's an excuse. It was a crutch for me because, as you know, I'm walking with God, and I believe that if it's meant for my business to take off, it's gonna take off whether I have Twitter or don't have Twitter. So I throw that crutch away. I put it away because it's not serving me. It's not serving me. My son has been recently. Like I told you guys, he was recently baptized, and there has been a change in his mind and in his whole life. He's different. He went down in that water and came back up a new person, and he is now upholding the standard that I have set, that I had set for myself, and he's, grabbing that standard and running with it. And there's certain games that he used to play that he don't play no more. And he said he had to disconnect from it because it was bothering him. He was seeing things that he didn't like seeing. He was there were certain games that were pushing certain things that he didn't understand why they were pushing. It's a video game. Why are they pushing A, B, and C? Why are they highlighting this instead of just playing the game, allowing a video game to be simple and that be it? No, they're pushing things in these games and these TV shows, these movies, on these apps, and we're taking that stuff in. And at some point in time, you have to realize that I'm I'm partaking in this. I'm partaking in this. Why am I partaking in this? It doesn't agree with anything in me. It doesn't give me anything that I need to survive or to become better. Again, you know what I'm saying? Level up, train harder, be an asset. If it's not leveling you up, if it's not inspiring you to train harder, if it's not helping you to become a better asset in your community or your family or for yourself, why are you partaking in it? And I'm talking about the things that we know are just straight out nonsense. If you have a certain stance on something, why are you partaking in something that's literally hating you or saying that you are the reason? Why? It's time to disconnect from it. It's time to disconnect from things that are not feeding you. It's time to disconnect from things that are making you feel a certain way when you get off that app. It's time to disconnect from things that are putting thoughts in your head that you shouldn't have. Yeah. Let's speak on that. So you guys know I have IG, and for some reason, my stuff on IG is geared to camping, bushcrafting, a lot of not really military heavy stuff, but I say camping, bushcraft, Muay Thai because I'm a instructor. What else? Sometimes meats, cooking, foods, cars like the BMW. I just like to look at the old BMWs. I love the old BMWs. But that's the stuff that I look at back then. Now I don't even get on that app very often. I check my activity. I spend, I think it said like 6 minutes a week on that app. 6 minutes a week, not a day. 6 minutes a week on that app. People are like, well, how you gonna grow your account? How you gonna grow your business? Again, my faith is not depending on people finding my business. Is I'm putting all my faith and all my trust in God to take it from where it's at and expound, blowing it up, expanding it. And I'm telling you, I know I'm not even gonna tell you. Things are being worked for my good. The dots are being connected for my good. So uh, we'll jump into that when it's time to jump into that. But I'm trying to let you know that we have been told so many things about these apps, especially if you're a business or if you're trying to grow a following and you're trying to be an influence, that you have to spend so much time on this app. You have to post daily. You have to engage and all this other nonsense. And and for some people that works. That's the thing, because they're doing trendy things, that so they have to stay on that app. Me, I'm about my privacy. I don't really like sharing. I like to be in the moment. I don't like having the phone all the time trying to capture pictures of a moment. I hate that. I want to enjoy that moment for myself and not have something attached to my hand just so I can upload it to the world so the world can see. What happened to things being sacred? What happened to things just being, let me enjoy this? Why I gotta show everybody what I'm doing? If you feel like you've been pulled on by those apps to make you do something like that all the time, it's time for you to disconnect. If you don't have the power to be like, you know what, I'm not posting this week. I just want to chill and enjoy being in the moment. I don't want to feel like I need to do I don't want to feel like I need to be doing trending things just to stay relevant on social media. Meanwhile, your companion and your family don't even see you because your face is here. This is where your face is at. They don't even know what your face look like because you here. You doing this all the time. You look unfamiliar to them when you don't have this in your hand. You coming around the corner. Who is that? And then oh, oh, what's up? You get what I'm saying? Disconnect from those things. But back to what I was saying about IG. So IG, for some reason, uh, the things that I see on my IG has nothing to do with the things that I'm trying to push. The things that are connected to my business have nothing. I mean nothing to do with my business, with my values. It has nothing to do with it. So I had to get off. I mean, it I my suggested reels are, usually some girl bent over dancing. Like, or it's some kind of perversion in in the Muay Thai. And just it's all kinds of perversion in my reels or in suggested reels. That's all I see. I don't get the regular the old bushcraft stuff that I used to like, knives and axes and campsites and trees and woods, nature. I don't get that stuff no more unless it's coming from the people that I follow. And even then, I get to see two of the people I'm following, and then it's just reels, 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 and then go some more. I'll get some more, some followers, get some more people that I'm following, and then it's just reels, 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 reels. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why it's like that, but it's like that. So I had to take a step back and be like, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need this to be plaguing my mind. I don't need to be sitting there walking around through, out of my land, just thinking about all the stuff that I've seen already. Some of you may be saying, well, stop being weak and get over it. You're right. But when you know your weaknesses and you know how the devil tries to attack you, you know that you should be turning away from those things. You shouldn't be partaking or entertaining those things. So the best thing for you to do is to disconnect from those things. that the old saying, don't play with fire or you're going to get burned. Don't play with fire or you're going to get burned. There's things that happens in your life that'll make you fall into those traps. But that's a whole, we're going to stay on topic. That's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother episode. Disconnect from those things that are taking your time, that are consuming those minutes. I'm telling you, folks, you can't get those minutes back. You can't get those minutes back. Once they're gone, they're gone. And there's so many times I've picked up my phone, looked at something, scrolled for about 2-3 minutes or so. And I'm like, and I put my phone down. I'm like, man, I just wasted 2-3 minutes. I can't get that back. My time is valuable. Valuable. When you once you start realizing how valuable your time is, and that you don't know when your time is up, you start to value your time and look at how you're spending your time. What you're spending your time on. Am I wasting time just scrolling through my phone while all these negative, intrusive thoughts are sitting in my brain? I need to get better at that. Guys, I have scriptures for you and I cannot recall them. The Bible says to guard your eyes and your mind. Be mindful of what you're taking in. It says to be mindful of what you're taking in, because it's dangerous. I'm gonna make sure I get better at that. I need to put like a little side note to tell myself to, if there's my topic and there's scriptures I know that goes with what I'm speaking on, I need to attach it to my episode list, to my notes. I need to do so, but I'm if I remember, matter of fact, I'm going his. I'm gonna make sure I attach scriptures to my notes so that you guys can go and see. Come along with me on this journey, this walk with God, so you can understand how I'm evolving, why I'm evolving. Things that I used to, find value in, I don't find value in no more. And talking about these apps and these phones and all this stuff, I don't find value in them no more. They don't feed me the way I need to be fed. They're not teaching me anything. They're not pouring into me. I'm pouring into those apps. I was pouring into Twitter. What was I getting back? Nothing. Empty. Just feeling empty. Was I getting the engagement that I wanted? I wasn't even getting the engagement that I wanted. 3,100 warriors in my tribe, right? I don't call them followers. I think it's 3,100. I can pull it up real quick. Oop, nope, that ain't it. I think it's 3,100 warriors in my tribe. And my engagements were super low. I didn't understand. And I was spending a lot of time. I was in spaces. Again, like I was saying, I was in spaces. I was giving away free self-defense classes, on firearms, preparing people for situational awareness, teaching people how to avoid conflict, how to spot a conflict. I was giving away a lot of free classes, right? And I had the spaces going and all of that, and my engagements were still down. Let me look at my profile real quick. So, so it's at 3133. So 3,133 warriors in my tribe, right? And my engagements, when I would tweet something out, I would get maybe like 200-300 views, and maybe 3 or 4 people would, heart it or comment on it. 3,100 people voluntarily followed me, joined my tribe, but only 300 are viewing it, and only 5 or 6, maybe 4, even less than that, will heart it or comment on it. If they followed me because of the things I was saying. You know, they know who I am. They know what I'm saying. They know what my stance are. So I was pouring into Twitter, but Twitter wasn't pouring back into me. And I realized that. And when I realized that the first time, I was like, I can't disconnect from it now. It's my crutch. I didn't call it my crutch, but I said it's connected to my business. This is how I'm gonna grow it. This how I'm gonna reach other people in other locations. This is how I'm gonna do it. My podcast, upload my podcast episodes, and I can go live on there and all that stuff. I can do all these things on that app. I was putting all this time into that app, and I can tell you I got back 2%. So I did get some valuable information on homesteading, pigs and all of that. 2%. The rest of it was trash. The rest of it was grown men crying about things that they had control over. The rest of it was, race race battles and division and people being ignorant to the same plays being run against them, and they falling for the same traps over and over again. People not being able to deal with actual truth. I had to disconnect from it. So with that being said, guys, if it's not feeding you, if you're not learning from it, if all it's doing is taking from you and not giving you anything back besides gossip and wasteful or useless information, it's time to cut it. It's time to cut anything that's not feeding you, anything that you're not learning from, anything that you're not growing from. It is time to cut it off. Stop allowing it to drain you of your life and of your time. Your time is valuable. You cannot sit there and just do this for the rest of your life. Have an honest conversation with yourself. What have I learned from IG in the past month? And then, again, some people follow some good accounts and they don't have the filth that I have on my account. I don't know why, but there's filth on mine. I don't know why that is. And what I mean by filth is, I don't want to get on my IG and see naked women all the time. Like, what is that about? Why, when I'm looking at homesteading things, there's naked homestead women? Like, where's the like? I don't get it. I don't want to see it. But that's what's on mine. That's just me. Now, if you're fine with it, then that's fine. Hey, whatever floats your boat. But I'm talking about people that want to be fed good things. I'm talking about people that want to better themselves. I don't see how looking at a naked woman is bettering you. I don't see how that's bettering you. So if it's not feeding you, if it's not giving you anything that you need, it's time to disconnect from it. Facebook, IG, Twitter, even people around you. If the people around you are not feeding you, it's time to disconnect. If all you're getting is negativity and backstabbing and just gossip talking and all this other nonsense, cut it out. It's not helping you grow. Cut it out. It's not helping you grow. It's becoming cancerous. So, guys, I hope what I just elaborated on is thought provoking. I hope it gives you something to ask yourself. I hope every episode that I've been giving you is something that you can actually have an honest conversation with yourself. Can I do better? Is there anything that I'm lacking in that I need to improve? Is there anything that I'm connected to that I need to disconnect from? Am I using it as a crutch just to keep it around? Those crutches are real. And we have to be honest with ourselves. How many crutches do we have in the closet? Oh, that's another. That's another one. We'll dive into that later in another. I'm telling you, the season 6 is so it's gonna be so good because again, with this walk with God that I'm doing, I'm learning so much about myself and things that happened in the past, the things that I've did in the past, and where I'm at now is just giving me a whole new perspective on things that I have encountered and the things that I'm going to encounter. Uh, I hope you guys are with me on this walk throughout this season. Again, if I only am able to touch one person and get them to change their mindset, I've done everything I needed to do. Do I want the big numbers? Yeah. Why would I not? I would be lying if I said I didn't. But my goal is that one. Are you gonna be that one? It's gonna get rough. you gonna hear some things you ain't gonna want to hear. Oh man! But the truth comes to set us free, so we can stop doing the things that we shouldn't be doing and become better. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this contact list that I have not updated, but I promise I'm gonna update it because I said I have disconnected from it all. All right. Uh, I'm still on IG. I still use IG. I'm just not on there a lot. But if you would like to follow me at Warriors underscore collection underscore. Follow the network where the podcast and stuff goes on. Warriors underscore collection underscore network. YouTube, obviously. YouTube.com/Warriors Collection Network. Subscribe, turn on the notifications, comment, hit that thumbs up. If you don't like what you're hearing, let me know why. Let me know why. Let's have a conversation about it. As you see there, I'm on Twitter, but you're not getting anything real. I will not be tweeting anything real on that site, but I am on there just for the purpose of for my store. And here lately, I've been thinking about just removing that whole thing completely because I don't want the temptation of going in there just to getting in there one day and just being like, you know what, it ain't that bad. I don't want it at all. So I'm probably going to remove it. And like I said, I'm going to update this contact page so you don't see it. And another thing that I've disconnected from is on TikTok. I found myself, I was getting good stuff, and then here lately, it's been complete trash. Complete trash. And again, I stand on it. If it's not feeding me, if I'm not getting what I need to get from it, it needs to go. It needs to go. So I'm not on TikTok. My profile is still there. I just need to go in there and deactivate it. Um, I was using that as a landing space for my podcast just to upload little clips. I may still do that and just not. I removed it from my phone so I don't go into my phone and look at the app. I'll have to do it over the computer. So I'm thinking I may just upload the stuff, the podcast stuff, um, and go from there and just leave it at that instead of actually scrolling through TikTok and seeing the garbage that I see. So well, I'm still debating it, but I'm definitely debating just the removal of Twitter because it's not doing anything but becoming a cesspool of nothing. So let's go ahead and jump into the audio page. If you're wanting to just catch us on the audio side, Anchor.fm, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Audible, Overcast, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and Breaker. I am still working on Pandora. I don't know what I need to do to get on Pandora, but I am working to get on Pandora. Um, we're gonna figure it out. But that's that. Again, folks, I hope this episode was thought provoking. I hope that it allowed you to hear something that would make you be like, you know what? He has a point. I've been feeling this way about Facebook. I've been feeling this way about Snapchat. I've been feeling this way about, you know, this group or, whatever the case may be. I've been feeling away and I'm feeling empty. I'm pouring, and I feel empty. it's time for me to disconnect. So have that honest conversation with yourself. Have that honest conversation with yourself. Guys, I will see you on the next one. Remember, don't be blinded by the media. Hashtag see through it using your Warriors vision. And remember to level up, train harder, be an asset. This is the Warriors Vision Podcast. I'm your host, Brian, aka The Warrior. I'll see you on the next one. Warrior out.